Hello everybody, CW here. I'd like to do a video follow-up video response to Jamie, who's started up a couple of videos, or trying to start up some videos from us, trying to gain some views and gain some knowledge to a brother who's got a family who's going through some tough times. And that person is Lakeview Outdoors, Tony. He's got some family problems with his wife, some health issues with his wife that he's trying to deal with, that are all encompassing, and they really hit home for me. As some of you know, I'm dealing with some of the same things, and it's really tough. And I just want him to know that he's not alone. This is awful, and it's no fault of his or his wife's or anything. This is just awful, and I've got some opinions on it, but we're not going to go into it here. Let's continue on Jamie's video, which is my first gun for Lakeview, and let's talk about that. The Scottish American is trying to raise some awareness for Lakeview, and that's what this video is all about. So my first firearm was bought by me, by myself, paid for it myself, worked for it. I go in there, my father would bring me in every week or every 2 weeks, whatever we could, and I would put down $10, $20, whatever I had, whatever I'd made that week. I think I was in 7th grade. Yeah, I think I was in 7th grade. And it took me that whole year, that whole year to pay for it. I think it was 8th grade when I got it, or maybe the summer between 7th and 8th grade that I got it. And it was an Ithaca SKB 300 XL, which was a semi-automatic shotgun. I'll roll in some pictures because I sold the gun. So there you go. I'm not a huge fan of semi-automatic shotguns, so that's the reason that it went. I much prefer the pumps. Did a lot of duck hunting, and I saw too many of the automatics fail because of the action, because of the design. I just like manual actions better than automatics. So that's why it went. But I got some really good memories with it. I had it for a whole lot of years. I was probably, well, what was I? What are you in 7th grade? 10 years old, 12 years old. And I probably sold it when I was 25 or 30. So I had it for a lot of years. Did a lot of hunting with it. It was a nice shotgun. It would shoot 3-inch shells. It had a little lever. You take the fore end off and you throw a little lever so it opened the gas port or closed down the gas port size, and allowed you to use the bigger shells. And it worked fine. It worked great. Like I say, I just really like the pumps better, so that's where I went with it. So what I've got to share with you besides that story is my first 22. So Jamie's idea was your first gun, so I'm just going to elaborate, expound upon that a bit, and show you my first 22 that I bought myself. Now, ironically, I bought this in the same gun shop, probably 10 years later. I was probably early 20s when I bought this. And what this is a Browning BL-22. This one happens to be a grade 2 because it's got some very nice engraving on the receiver. That's really the only difference. They didn't really change much of else. They had up to a grade 5, but 3 and 4 you never really saw. The 5 was gold inlay and super nice wood, and these were just really nice guns. And I wanted to do a video on this for a while because you just don't see too many of these. and they're really nice rifles. They've got a very short throw. The trigger stays with the lever, so there's no pinching. So when you're wearing gloves, and that real short throw is really nice, because when you have it to your shoulder, you can just open your hand like that and cycle the shell, cycle the action. So it's really quick. It's nice and light, just like all of them. You know, it's really, in the handling, it's really no difference than a Winchester or Marlin or a Henry. Henrys are more popular now. Henry's probably one of the most popular that we see in 22 levers nowadays. But if you get a chance to handle one of these, or even buy one of these that you can afford, because they really went up in price, grab it, because you will love it. It's a fine gun. It's got a groove top receiver if you wanted to put a scope on it. I imagine you could have put a peep too, a peep that goes in the grooves. The rear sight is a fold down Williams style that was ever so popular back in the day, and the front is dovetailed in as well, so you can put in a taller one. The rifle loads under the tube just like all of them, and it's got a little push button to pull your tube out. So it's very similar to all the other lever action 22s, but it's just a little bit nicer. And Ellie came down to visit. Browning, you can see on the butt there. And like I say, it's got some real nice engraving on it. And these were made in Japan. I'm not in front of the camera, so I'm hoping that this is focusing. And on this side, you've got the model name. Hopefully I'm not too close. This one's in really nice shape. There's a couple little nicks and dings because it's been around for a while. Real quick story on this. I remember when I bought this, it was the fall of the year, and we were shooting target practice and stuff in the sand pits near my home. And we used to hunt the same area. It's all grown up now. There's nothing there. But it's an area right near, if you're familiar with the area here in Connecticut, Bic lighters, Bic pens. It was right down near them. They're right on the Houstonic River, and it was right near them. There are lots of sand pits and just wide open area back then. Nothing was there. No other industry, no other anything. And we used to hunt. We used to duck hunt down there. We used to upland bird hunt down there. There was a lot of partridge and grouse, and there was rabbits and squirrels and everything down there. It was mostly all open area. Some light woods, but mostly all open. And I bought this gun, and I headed down there to the sand pits to shoot. And like I said, it was the fall of the year, so it was probably late October. And on the way down there, I got out of the truck, and I'm walking down to the sand pits through the sand, and there was a cottontail sitting right there. And I'd never shot the gun. I bought it used, and I loaded it up. And don't you know, I got that rabbit. And first shot out of the gun, very first shot out of this gun. The guy who had it before me saw things the same way I did, sights wise, and the gun shot perfectly straight. So I knew it was a keeper. I knew it was meant to be. So there we go. So this video is, like I said, to let everybody know about some of the troubles of one of our brothers, Lakeview Outdoors. I will have a link in the description to his channel. He hasn't been very active lately. Short term, he's been going through all this stuff with his wife, and it's pretty rough. I'm not going to say anything about anything. It's all personal to him. He is going to be on an upcoming chat with probably with the Scotsman on some Sunday night, and he'll divulge what he wants to. Just know that it's serious, and it's a pretty big deal. It's pretty expensive. It's pretty costly to him, and he can use all the help he can get. I believe we're having some fundraisers, try and raise some money for him. I don't know exactly what there's going to be. There's going to be some donations of products. I'm sure we're going to do raffles, kind of like we did for our buddy who recently passed with COVID, and we've done it for a number of other people. I'm thinking of everybody's names. I want to use their handles instead of their names, and why I'm kind of stumbling here. The Scotsman has done this a whole bunch of times with a whole bunch of people. He's got a heart of gold, and he's looking to try and raise some funds to try and defer some of those costs that insurance won't pay. It makes things really, really hard in the household. So anything you can do along those lines would be greatly appreciated. Check out his channel, and I'll have links over there. I'm sure everybody on my channel is also subbed to him, and you should be subbed to Jamie and Lakeview as well. He's a small channel, so you may not have heard from him very much, but he's been active in the past, and he's a good guy, doing videos on everything that we all do videos on and love to do with his wife. So the hashtag for this and the hashtag for any videos that you guys make along these same lines with showing your first gun is my first gun for Lakeview. Hashtag my first gun for Lakeview. And Jamie was the first one and the one asking us to do this on behest of the Scotsman. We found out last week on the Scotsman's chat that I think it was Alan B. Pro's idea, but it doesn't really matter who thought of it. It's a good one. It's a way to bring us all together, give us a little more information about each other, tell us a little story about your first gun, how you got it, where you got it, you know, the conditions and the circumstances. And like in my case, I don't even have it anymore. So you just got to see some pictures of somebody else's that was the same as mine. I was trying to find some pictures that I had of it, but of course it was long before there was anything digital or even computers for that matter. So I would have had to just take a video of a picture, and I don't know where they are. I got to find them. They're put away somewhere. So that's about it. I don't want to drag this out too awful long. Thoughts are for Tony and his family, his wife, and this awful thing that's been dropped upon them. So they're in their hour of need, and they can use all the support and help they can get. So look for the prizes, look for the chats that are coming up with all the raffles, to gain money for him, to earn money to send to him to help defer these costs. So God bless Tony. Here's Ellie coming to say hi. God bless everybody. CW out.